That's a bet. We got this thing working. And hello, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a little minute, so I'm not going to act like I don't need to reintroduce myself to people. My name is Stoney James. And man, I got to encourage everybody in the world, especially when you're in this content space, to make sure that you are in the right headspace whenever you're recording. Sometimes I think it's actually beneficial to just take a break, step back from all of it, reevaluate. You know what I'm saying? Um, I know it's a lot of people that encourage you to just go, like record, worry about it later. You know, the judgment and all that kind of stuff. I understand that, and especially being the kind of person I am, where I don't mind being transparent. I put a lot of stuff out there and cause myself even more issues. So I'm learning like a certain maturity level about that just from I have the advantage of being able to see myself before I actually put it out because I do all of my edits. So that's very helpful some days. You know, I got I got crash out in me, and it's times where I don't really care. You know, I don't care what people think. I don't care what your judgment is of me or my material. Like some of it is therapeutic. Sometimes I feel like you need to put it out there. It can help somebody else. I think like the most difficult thing for me is when you're telling certain stories and other people are involved. That's where you want to be a little bit more judicious about what you're putting out because, you know, people might not like the picture that you paint about them. I happen to just be like honest. You know, I don't have a problem with. I'll say that I think more people need to be honest in whatever part of the journey that they on in life. I think that'll be more helpful because there's so many people now that like they like painting a certain picture. They like wearing the mask. They like you know having you think that they got it all figured out. And then that's why it's so shocking when you find out, oh my God, like I've been watching this dude's content all this time. I didn't know. I had no idea he was that kind of person. You get this news break and you know somebody is found guilty of something crazy, and you're just like, man, I would have never thought. But like, if you actually knew the person, you know, it's people that's not surprised at all. So that's just one of those things where, like, I guess it comes with the territory of people being on the internet. See it through social media, all the filters, all the different ways that you can present yourself that don't exactly line up with like reality, the truth, like who you are, the real image that people see in real life. Or you ever seen somebody off of social media and you like, oh, like, I didn't even recognize that person. And it's beyond makeup. Like that's one of the things with women. The makeup factor, the eyelashes, and all the other things they do. That's a costume to me too. But like beyond that, it's like more than just a personal image. It's the way that they try to paint the picture of their lives. Um, it can get kind of nasty sometimes, especially for people that really know a person and you just see them presenting this image that's just so far off from what they really are. You see flashy chains and expensive this and expensive that, and you know that they living paycheck to paycheck just like everybody else. Like, what's the benefit of you presenting this image when the reality is so far from it? But then you find out a lot of people actually go for that image. So I guess I can understand. I just like that stuff has to catch up with you, right? When I was on Tied to the Game a couple of weeks ago, I presented this question about would you rather be a broke boss or a rich teammate? And we had a discussion about that. And I'm pretty sure, even by the way that the question is presented, most people would pick rich teammate just because, like, obviously that makes more sense. But it's more so about checking yourself at the door. It's personal accountability. It's saying, can I put my ego to the side? Can I actually figure out how to work within a team and a system and be successful with that? or do I have to have it all on my own terms? And like I was doing a deep dive into the question for myself, and I kind of realized that I don't have a straight answer for it because I see the benefit of both. I'm probably somewhere in the middle, you know. Um, Again, certain like I said, it's certain aspects of me doing this thing on my own that I will always appreciate. Being able to see myself back, the playback before I put anything out, before I produce anything, because I tell y'all all the time is certain recordings that happen that never see the light of day. And sometimes that's a good thing because, sometimes you end up doing stuff like this.
Miserable. Miserable.
Who in the will want to be around that? With no context to that, I'm pretty sure that could raise a lot of questions, but I guess like really all I want to say is that it's clearly something I just didn't feel comfortable putting out. Whatever the topic was, it just wasn't right. I get into those modes where I can feel I'm not in the right space to be recording right now. I need to step back. I didn't post for the entire month of February. February was so hectic for me in a lot of different ways. It actually started in January. So it's just like a carryover, but like February was the height of it. I think like being in this space and giving myself a kind of a realistic timeline so that I'm actually happy that even now with me pushing myself to be more consistent, I'm still not in a space where I have a set schedule and I have people waiting for me to go, look out for this video. I got this schedule where I drop every Tuesday and Thursday and you can look out for that, or, every day I got daily drops, all that kind of stuff. I've been kind of tinkering just to see like what I can do with the channel, what works for me, what's realistic for my schedule. And like since my schedule is always changing and I don't even know how realistic I can be with myself about that. But one thing I can say is another question that got raised was just about where are you stagnant in life? And I got to be honest that procrastination has been my Achilles heel for most of my life. I could say a lot of things about different obstacles to get in the way when it comes to doing this channel, when it comes to dropping content. I always have something to talk about. It's right here at home, I don't have to go travel to some studio. I set up this space. It's comfortable enough for me. I can do it whenever I want to. And so that's why I have to be honest and say it's times where I'm just procrastinating. It's a video I'm working on right now. I sat down and finally wrote out a script for it. And of course I get to it, but beyond that, there's been plenty of things I wanted to come to the channel about. But, whatever excuse I came up with in my head, that's why I didn't get to it. But just over the month of February, I had to be honest with myself. You're really not in a good headspace to be doing this. But the transparency comes from just sharing it. It's not really that hard to come out and say, man, this is not a good time. You will not appreciate any of what you get from me at this time in my life because I'm on fire right now. And I make sure to never present myself as some perfected version of myself because that's not the case. I think for all of the people that have been following this channel from the beginning, I came a long way in a lot of different aspects of my life and the channel. I look different. The channel looks different. There's been a lot of different changes that have happened over the last couple of years. And I appreciate that. Sometimes I'm so hard on myself that I don't really give myself the space to just say, look at how far you've come. You've grown so much in really a short amount of time. And a lot of that has it's really been about me being intentional. because I just started and I didn't really know what I saw this channel turning into, but like the fog and all the clouds have kind of been clearing out the way for me to see, okay, this is your space right here. This is what you do. So work on that. And it's a whole lot better for me. I made mention of the fact that I couldn't do 3 minutes before. That's not a problem today. It was never a problem in real life, but sitting here in front of a camera, sitting here with a microphone in my face, it's like that changes everything. And going and doing the podcast, I've seen people that have a lot to say until the camera comes on, then they kind of just go mute. So a lot of people think this is easy. Actually, it becomes a lot easier when you add more people to the conversation in terms of just being able to fill time, right? Whether the conversation is good or not, it's a conversation being had. When you have to carry the load by yourself, that's why you can respect the people that can do the one-man show, but it is not easy. And I've actually had people tell me, I don't know how you do it. Well, I don't know how I do this, but I think just the practice of, the repetition of doing this over and over just makes it a lot easier. Like I look into the camera, but at this point, the camera is not even there. So you see a lot more of my personality in these videos than you did before because it's whatever, man. I don't care what y'all think about me. I put myself out there. So if somebody got a problem with that, I don't mind you clicking away from the video. Like I truly understand now that whatever is meant for me is going to come to me. And a lot of that has to do with how invested I am and how much work I actually put into it. It'll take longer for me the longer I take to be consistent with this thing. So that's fine. Like I don't have a problem with that. Like I'm realistic with myself about that. So going back to the broke boss and the rich teammate. Being able to work with other people in this space, I find that it's a lot less of a load on my shoulders when I can just sit down and do the content. I'm way more comfortable in that space than I was starting before, and it's just because I wasn't sure how well I would be able to work with a team. And that's because I started out doing so many things on my own that it's like, how do you work in somebody else's space? And it just took me back to, I grew up in youth sports, organized sports. I've learned how to be a teammate a long time ago. So then it really wasn't that difficult for me to jump in. I guess like one of the problems that I learned, which kind of makes me it makes me a lot more grateful that I have my own space to get my thoughts out, is it becomes very difficult to split the time to respect other people's time on the mic. There's a lot of people don't have that professional training, and also they kind of lack common courtesy at the same time. So it becomes really tough for people to respect that somebody else is speaking. You get cut off a lot. I think that's probably one of the most frustrating things that I found in just like being on the podcast with other people is like, I can sit back and let people talk. It's not so easy for other people to do that. So I've been cut off a lot of times. That can get frustrating when you let your personal feelings, are so strong about a topic that it's no longer about this collective conversation we having because you feel so strongly about something that hit a little bit too close to home. You got personal experiences or whatever the topic is, and you can't separate yourself from that. Like, it's not really the best viewing experience. I think we could all stand to do just a little bit of self-reflection when it comes to what would be the best material to put out. Like, this is not a good viewing or listening experience. We got to figure out how to work that out. So that's that. If I had to list a con for working with other people, then that would be one of them. That's why I say I sit back and I really thought about the question. It was like, man, you know what? Like, I could find a lot of good reasons to just keep doing my own thing, and that's why I will continue to do my own thing. But I see a lot of like major benefits in working with other people, from the conversation that you have, the different points of view that you can kind of process, and they might help you along the way where I never thought about it like that. You know what? You're right. Like, damn, I my mind would have never went there. So I appreciate being able to have those conversations. But that's when the conversation is actually good. And when it's not, then you can get very frustrated. And even that shows in different kind of ways. So I try my best to keep it as professional as I can in whatever space I'm in. But we are human. Things happen. And man, you just got to roll with it sometimes, man. It's life. So I'm really learning, like, stop being so hard on yourself. It's okay. Things happen. You just got to keep on going. That's been almost a mantra for everything that I've been going through lately is just keep going. Like, every day is a new day. You can kind of put yesterday behind you. If you learn how to do that, life is a lot better. And for the most part, I do a really good job of brushing it off my shoulders. It happened. There's nothing we can do about it now. So what do we do moving forward? Right? I think I'll figure out some kind of way to just share what I could from what I did record. I'm pretty sure it's pieces in that, and what I didn't share that can still be shared. So I might add that to like the end of this one. But yeah, just for the sake of really just for the sake of like, look, I'm still here. Like I kind of hate to get the questions where people like, hey, what's up with the channel? Or, what's up with the podcast? What's going on? I'm like, look, man, I hate to have to say anything other than, hey, I just put a new video out. You can go check it out. That's really that I want to get to the point where that's my response. Where people ask me that question, I'm just like, all right, just go check it out. I don't know what's up with your notifications. Maybe you missed it. There's a couple of videos you can go check out. What's the last one you saw? I have stuff I need to be working on right now, and the mental aspect is something you really got to fight through. Like I know some of my favorite content creators I've seen, different spaces where they just don't produce. They have to come back and talk about what happened, or every now and then you get somebody that's not going to explain anything. You just see them when you see them. I kind of respect that too, but that's just not the way I'm built. So all of this that I'm saying, I really just wanted to make the point that I understand the human aspect of all of this that we do. I respect all of my peers in this space. I hope that we all figure it out. I understand that we're better together, but then I also have a separate journey that affords me the opportunity to do my own thing. And I think I'll probably always find the value in that as well. So it's kind of tough it's tough for me to commit to somebody else's dream, somebody else's thing, because it's not mine. I've learned how to be helpful and useful in other ways. I've learned how to be used without taking it as some negative thing, because in reality, we are kind of using each other in this space, but it's just depending on how you're looking at it. That'll kind of determine the outcome for you. So I don't take this personally, and I really don't think you should in this space, unless somebody is making a personal attack on you. And that's really where I kind of sit today. Man, I'm really grateful for being able to see all of this back in real time. I'm grateful that everybody else is too, because I really do think there's people that get something out of this journey. I understand that that's one of my superpowers is the transparency, the honesty that you get from me, the vulnerability that you don't really get from other people. And because I'm so honest, it'll always be a conflict whenever other people are involved in certain stories where I really hold back on certain things for the sake of other people. I'll tell you from front to back everything that happened. You know, you talk to other people, you might get a different version, but I like the fact that I have a track record of truth, that nobody is out here calling me a liar. You can love me, you can hate me, you might can't stand the sight of me, but nobody is calling me a liar. So, whatever my recollection of a situation is, I'm always sure to be fair and also be truthful about it. So, I'll go there, but out of respect for certain people, out of respect for certain situations, that's the reason why I don't go as in depth when it comes to certain things. But as far as me, I talk about myself all day. It's not some ego thing, because if my ego is really involved, then I would be one of these people wearing a mask. I would be one of these people trying to present myself as something that I'm really not. And what you see is what you get here, man. I ain't had a haircut and I don't know how long, man. It's crazy. The beard is looking the way it's looking, all of that, man. I'm not trying to present some perfect image, and that's okay. Now, I do want to always improve the quality of the image, but that's something different from what I'm talking about when it comes to me, my presentation, and it just varies, you know. My mood varies. All of that is just real, so that's what I go with, and I'm always sure to check myself at the door. What's my intention? What's really happening behind the scenes? Why am I putting this out? If I don't have a good reason for putting it out, then you just don't see it, right? So it's plenty of B-roll. There's plenty of things I could actually use, but I keep them close. Sometimes it's therapeutic just to sit here and get it out. Every now and then, that's more important to me than actually sharing it with other people just for the sake of creating content. I'm not a content over everything person, and I'm not going to put just any old crap out just for the sake of having something out recently. All right, I was supposed to put something out today. I'm going to just put this shit out. I can't respect myself for doing something like that. So, in certain aspects of this space, integrity makes you an idiot. Maybe I'm an idiot about certain things. That's fine. Again, I learned how to be patient with myself. I don't rush myself to do something, especially if I don't have like the right spirit about it. So I love all of y'all for sticking with me. I love the growth that I'm seeing from the channel. I love the fact that it's more people engaging. It's more subscribers. At the rate I was going before, I'm like shocked just to see how much growth I've seen in the last year. So all of that is motivation for me. Y'all motivate me to keep going in some times where I just don't have it. Man, it doesn't last forever, or I would just get rid of the channel. Like, I know this is what I want to do, and that's why I'm here. But every now and then I need a little pick me up. So I appreciate the people that check up on me. I appreciate the little messages, the encouragement, inquiries, people that just want to know, hey, what's up? What's going on? Like, I'm a fan. I'm just looking forward to the next thing you do. Like, that feels wonderful. So I thank all of y'all, man. I thank every last one of y'all. And I think that's about all I got today. I'll be seeing you. I'm out. I love you.